Denver Broncos, I'll have you know, commercials, no bullshit. Well, we got another loss on our hands here. So we're gonna be professional here and not get too emotional and do the X's and O's and just wash, rinse, repeat. I definitely gave the Titans too much credit, but go ahead. Why don't you start this off? Are you around? I can't see you.
You cannot see me?
Yeah. Let's try this.
Can you see me?
I can see you now.
I can see you now too.
Okay, so I did my little intro, so why don't you go ahead and give us your professional take on this?
Well, my professional take is the two teams that we saw today both suck. The Titans, I gave way too much credit to a team that can't really stick to what works best for them. And that's what I've noticed around the National Football League. It blows my mind that I watch film, I do the All-22 film, and I see what works. And then you watch the game today and you see them just go away from what works. It's just one of those things
both
where
teams. Both teams.
I'm strictly talking about Titans right now because, I got to talk about the Denver Broncos because this is a, GM-centric channel, and I really want to go into this player personnel on the Denver Broncos. But again, I think it would have been a lot worse if Jeffrey Simmons was on that defensive line. I just want to say this right here, right now. Does anybody remember a name, DeMarcus Walker? Another Bronco player that went to another team and has had success. I mean, you can't make this shit up. I know the Titans didn't have a great game today. I understand that, but I told you, I said the Titans would win this game because of player personnel, not because of coaching, because of the player personnel. You can go to my BitChute channel, and I said that on my film review.
Well, despite themselves, they were trying to cut their own nose off. You see, when I'm watching film, and Jacksonville gives on a silver platter the game plan to Tennessee, and they're like, we have probably the best running back, the best running game, so let's just abandon that. Now, and I get it. It's the Denver Broncos. They're begging to be thrown on. That's what I said, and they are. They're a team begging to be thrown on. But just handing the ball to Henry one time, then going away from it, handing the ball to Henry one time, getting away all game long. And Lofton was going on about, how the Denver Broncos stopped Henry. No. The Tennessee Titans stopped Henry. You got to keep feeding him the ball. You do that, and then you do those short, those passes in them, which we saw them do, the passes in the middle.
And who said that in his film review?
And me too. Yes, you. Yes, absolutely. And I linked to that. So I just can't understand, what the thinking is going on out there. I mean, again, Jacksonville handed you the game plan on a silver platter, and you somehow fucked that up. And in my opinion, I'm just going to say it, the Titans were lucky to win that game. They were lucky.
I agree.
Because you didn't use your head. You weren't yourself. And if you lost that game, but you're playing the Broncos, so, I guess they felt, because they're playing the Broncos, that they could do these experimentations. Well, we'll experiment. We're at home. Let's do some experimentation. I'm not saying the Broncos are so bad you can do experimentation. I just thought you would be yourself.
Oh, I think they're bad where you can do experimentation, and I'll explain why later.
Well, but they're lucky they won that game. You can't.
Well, of course they're lucky they won that game. Of course, because me and you were watching this game at the same exact time, and me and you kept talking back and forth like they're having success running into those B gaps, and then they just abandon it and go for those Pat Shurmur ball. And you know what? Here's the thing about the Tennessee Titans. If I'm a Tennessee Titan fan right now, I'd be really, really pissed off at my team because you were expected to after that great Chiefs that great Chiefs showing that you went to Arrowhead. I understand Jeffrey Simmons was out. That's a big loss on your defense front. But I said I said to you before the game started, I'm like, I don't think that's really going to change anything because that defensive front goes 2-3 deep, and it showed. That defensive front, for all the crap that I give the Titans offense, that Titans defense outside of a few plays here and there played exceptionally well. And it's not hard to do against this Broncos team because every defense has looked good against the Broncos. But
Yeah.
the Titans offensively, I just they're just they're so full of themselves, just like the Broncos are. And we'll get into the Broncos here in a minute, but again, it's stupidity around the NFL, and this is why I'm just getting really sick and tired of watching and covering the NFL because these teams are just so stupid. They don't understand how to simplify football. They don't know what a simplistic offense looks like. How we were doing that this goes to both teams that we were watching at the same time, and there was that play where they brought in that rookie quarterback Malik Willis, and they tried to do a handoff, and I'm just like, you could have just ran it right into the B gap with Derrick Henry with the fullback there. You just got to be stupid. You got to experiment with all this bullshit, and I understand it's tempting because the Denver Broncos are one of the worst teams. They are probably one of the worst. They're a bottom 3 team. The Denver Broncos. They don't have the player personnel to stack up even against the Titans when they're giving you the game on a silver platter. We've seen that with Colts.
Another team giving the Broncos a game on the silver platter. I know.
They still can't win the game. That goes directly to how bad the teams the Broncos are playing and how bad and especially how bad the Broncos are.
You know, I'm sick of giving teams the benefit of the doubt. I really am. You know, I'm really getting sick of it. You know,
I know
they should. I mean, Tennessee should have lost that game, just in my opinion, just for being stupid.
Yep.
For not getting away from who you are, because that's what it really comes down to. You say they don't know this and that. They don't know themselves. They don't even know who they are. And it's like that's the Broncos don't know who they are. If you knew who you are, you wouldn't have Russell Wilson. You wouldn't send all these guys long and deep all the time when you need to pick up first downs. But go ahead.
No, you're absolutely right. We know what they are. We've seen it on film. You know, me and this guy, I'm going to keep professional. Me and this guy right here watch film. We know it works. We know what football is. We understand what football is, and we've seen it play out this season. I mean, for the people that said that this team was going to beat the Titans and they're always in every game and all the above, and we'd be 8-0 right now. To those people, I mean, you guys must believe your own bullshit. And this is why when it comes to football and when it comes to watching the film, it overshadows everything those Kool-Aid drinkers tell you. Because in the film today, they did exactly what we did. Every time the Titans had success, they did exactly what we did. Run the ball in the B gaps, throw in the middle of the field, attack the linebackers, attack the safeties. I mean, it was just so easy for them to do that when they were doing it. And then they go away from it. They would believe, hey, we're going to do some Shermer-esque creation here that would just hamper everything the Titans did. But yeah, I agree with you. The Titans should have lost that game full-heartedly. The Titans, if you're a Titans fan right now, I'd be calling out this offense coordinator in that organization right now because you guys need to figure out what you want to be offensively. If you're not going to figure out what you're going to be offensively, then you're going to turn out just like the Denver Broncos have been for the past 7 to 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you are who you are and you're very good at it, but you don't want to be that. I understand. And yeah, you can bitch at the referees all you want, but quite frankly, that's not your problem. You have other problems. You have other issues.
Absolutely.
If Jacksonville gives you a game plan, I mean, and you giving Henry the ball one time, getting away from it, one time, getting away from it, one time, what are you doing?
That's not a recipe for success.
What are you doing?
That's not a recipe for success. And
that's not for you guys. Yeah, not for Tennessee. It's not that. I mean, like you're getting away from who you are. You could have set this whole running thing up, and then you could have then started hitting them in the middle with those quick short passes, then getting the deep balls. But no, you can't. That's just too simple. It's too simple. And it's called. And everybody executes when you do that. You know, it just.
You know what? And here's just to continue to prove your point more and more. What were the Tennessee Titans doing that had success when they would score? They were doing exactly what me and this man said in our film reviews. You know, me and this guy, again, oh man, for all the crap that we get, it just invigorates me, because at the end of the day, we were right again about what we were right about the circumstances that the Tennessee Titans had when they were scoring on those drives. We probably overhyped the Titans, but I even said in my film review, watch out for this team being stupid. I said that in my film review. I said this.
You know what I think? I think that this is where they start to analytics. They get away from optics. They get away from what do we see with our own eyeballs? What are we seeing? Oh, what is it? Oh, this stat and that stat and the other stat. Well, what's the context behind all those stats? Can you give me that, Mr. Analytic? No, fuck, I don't know. I just got these stats here. I can't tell you the context behind them. Well, then those stats, they're no good.
But dude, I guarantee you these analytical people will tell you straight up that Justin Simmons played in this game and he had 2 interceptions. That's how stupid they think you are. Because at the end of the year, when you forget about this game, they will try and convince you that Justin Simmons had 5 interceptions and 2 of them came in this game. This is how, again, these analytics,
I'm talking about the ones that actually work for the NFL. This is what
absolutely.
Hold on a second. This is what has to happen. I remember I'm chopped liver. That's anyway. So what you got to do on these NFL teams?
The guy who said we were going to go 8-0 is chopped liver. Psycho Step.
Oh, well, I don't talk about people who don't know shit. Okay, that guy doesn't know his ass from the hole in the ground. So, but he's not different than a lot of these people. But and I'm talking about people that are in the NFL. This is what you got to do. Honestly, this is what you have to do if you want to bring analytics people. But you got to put the firewall up and say, wait a minute. You're going to work with the film junkies, so we can start putting context behind your stats. Okay, so analytic people are in their little bubble. The film people are going to be in their bubble, and it's like, well, hold on. The reason why, Draymond Jones, 2 of his tackles, were for lost yards. Maybe it was 3, but 4 of them were for huge plus yardages. How can you give this guy a player of the and the running back has a career game? So you got to put context behind the stats.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the NFL teams have to start doing, is putting a timeout on these analytic people and say, you got to give me some context behind the stats. There was no reason when you saw with your eyeballs, the game plan, what you saw with your own eyes, Jacksonville do. You should have been licking your chops and like, yeah, we can do this. And
the Seahawks did in the first half.
If this guy Jacksonville can have a game like this, can you imagine what our guy's going to have? Here we're ranting on the Titans, but it's not about the Titans so much, or it's about what we're seeing behind the scenes. It's about what's going on in the mindset of these people. It's very frustrating. When things are so simple.
No, because simple is too hard for these people. That's why I've been trying to tell fans and people that in today's world, simplicity in certain things is too hard for people to comprehend. That is the world we live in today, unfortunately, and it sucks. I mean, I use simplicity in most of my life, and it makes my life a whole lot easier. But if you do all this fucking experimenting bullshit and you try to, be something that you're not, it's not going to work out at the end. And you again, it's just that, yes, the Titans should have lost this game full-handedly. But again, I'm not surprised by what I saw, because I said in my film review, I'm just like, this team could be stupid and this team could get away from what works. And we've seen that with the Colts, and they still won. The Raiders, they still won. The Seahawks, they still won. I mean, the Jaguars were, a non-interception away, or a non-lobbed interception away to Justin Simmons from winning that game. I mean, it's just these teams around the NFL are just their heads are so far up the analytical ass that they just can't be simple in what works and what is their identity offensively and as a team.
So now let's talk about the 10,000-pound elephant in the room. There's 2 of them.
The team that should be 8-0 right now?
Yeah, the team that should be. Yeah, right. So
Here we go.
You have Russell Wilson. That's a discussion we're going to have, and then you have this offensive line going back 7 years. 7 years. Which one do we pick first? What do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about Wilson because it's quarterback centric, right?
Yeah. Now I know you're going to have a lot to say. Let me just say this. I just want to say this. We both know, and everybody should get. I want to say this. If you go in the online sphere, the word fleecing is now synonymous with what? The word fleecing is synonymous, attached to what?
The Denver Broncos.
The Denver Broncos. Everybody's using that. Everybody in every different context about getting fleeced. Oh, Broncos. You don't pay, there's a guy upstairs that nobody once acknowledges there in that non-meddling role, meddling. You don't pay a guy $250 million that really honestly doesn't deserve, because your ego is so fragile. Your ego is so fragile that you got a name. I got a name. Again, what's the context behind the name? And I like the way Seattle played possum. Oh boy, I don't know, man. I don't know if we can. I don't know. Of course, we've got to get rid of him. Got to get rid of him. I guess so. What, after they, fleeced him for everything they had. But I'm also not gonna go and blame Wilson 100%. Although he's definitely not 250 million. I mean, that should be apparent. But because John Elway, your offensive line that you've neglected for 7 years is caught up to you. And I don't want to hear about injuries. We played a team with a lot of injuries too. You may not know that. They had a lot of injuries too. But if there's something we've been pounding the table about, depth.
Yeah, okay, and this is what we both got attacked. This is what we both got attacked on, was that Bills game. Everyone said that we were saying it's a Super Bowl, but what did we see in that game that would translate into the season?
About what are you? Which game?
The Buffalo Bills preseason game. What did we see in the preseason? What did I hear? What did I see in OTAs?
Oh my God. We saw. Oh my God. Is what we saw.
Yeah, because of what? The depth on this team is hot garbage. It's dog shit.
Well, as bad as these teams are that the Denver Broncos played, we should have walloped all of them, except for the Raiders, I guess. But we should have walloped all of them.
What does that tell you, though? We can't even beat teams that hand the win on a silver platter. What does that tell you?
It goes back to the Bills thing we were saying about depth. This team has no depth.
This team has nothing. I mean, okay. You said I had a lot to say, so here I go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Russell Wilson is not worth $250 million. The people that are telling you that crap are a bunch of liars and manipulators. And the one thing about con artists is they're exceptional at lying. They're very, very good. That's the part of gangs that I work with on it. They're very good at lying. Yeah. Number 2. Sorry about that. Number 2.
Hey.
That porn. But anyway.
That's our producer yelling at us.
Yeah, that's our producer yelling at us, telling us to be professional here. We don't want to be like the gangbanger out there. But anyway, number 2, I don't think Russell Wilson is worth 250. But I understand the offensive line is trash. But this goes back to the DMAC question. We were told that this was just a quarterback away, right? Right? We were told by everyone out there in Dove Valley in that organization, we were just Russell Wilson away from taking that next step into the playoffs and Super Bowl. Oh, wait, hold on. 3 to 5 Super Bowls minimum. And now I can't, the chamber sounds like me is like a pin drop being dropped in the chamber of darkness that I can't even see. So Russell Wilson in this game, again, I understand where you're coming from. The play calling was just atrocious. You were saying, well, you said this in your film reviews, like, well, I like what I saw from the Jaguars. I did too, but what did I tell you in our post game? I said, yeah, they're not going to stick to it though, because this team cannot stick to anything because they have no offensive identity. You think what you saw from the Titans was worse? Just go look at the Denver Broncos. And when you don't have an offensive line, and I know, and all these people and all these fucking people out there are saying, well, we were talking about the offensive line. We all know that's a problem. Were you though?
No.
No, you weren't hammering it like
good enough. What did we get from them all? We got just good enough. Just good enough. Denver's just good enough. Just good enough. Say it's going to come home to roost. It's going to come home
to roost. Our offensive line is probably worse in the National Football. Our offensive line is the worst in the National Football League. And you pay $250 million to one single person, you're fucked. You outside of your first round pick that you will probably botch because you're the Denver Broncos, you won't go out and get an offensive lineman because this is how stupid this organization.
Well, will you even get the right offensive? Or are you going to go get a Garrett Bowles?
Yeah. Or you know what? They're going to go. They'll probably go get something else. They'll probably go get another edge defender because that's how they operate. Yeah. You know, you couldn't have gotten Abraham Lucas in the second round over a Nick Burrito who hasn't done shit.
Yeah. No, he hasn't done. Oof. Yeah. No.
Billy Turner's hurt, and that injury was gruesome. But again, he's injury prone. It doesn't matter. He's only played 2-3 games this year. You brought him back. You could have re-signed it again. I don't want to go through that again. Graham Glasgow.
Just good. Getting back to what you're saying about the draft and everything. How much you want to bet they're going to get rid of Shermer and bring in get rid of Hackett and get a Shermer, and then you see Greg Dulcich, which hasn't really been their best in the draft, other than the guy, the Hennessy. Watch him just turn him into a blocking tight end and basically ruin his career.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it'll go. I mean, we get told all the time, man, you guys just know all your stuff. I'm like, yeah, because this team is easily predictable. If you actually sit down, shut your mind off from what you hear from the media, and you shut your mind off from the Kool-Aid drinkers and what Dev Valley's telling you, and you do research on your own, you can actually really see what's really going on. And I think, you know what, at the end of the day, I don't feel sorry for this organization because they put themselves in this situation, and the guy upstairs, the guy who doesn't exist, right?
Still has an office there. Still has
there. Again,
tapping everybody on the shoulder. Tap, 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 tap. When you finally there at Walmart, when you finally get your act together, you realize that guy's got to go. That's the first step.
I don't think together. I'm sorry. You think it's going to happen? I don't.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying it tomorrow, but it's going to happen. It will.
Well, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. 50 years from now?
No. Well, maybe getting better will happen. I'm talking about getting rid of the guy in that office. That's coming sooner than you think.
Okay. Well, again, I just don't think this team is going to turn around because we got rid of Elway. They need to clean that entire office out.
Well, they need a philosophical change. They need a philosophical change. They need a cultural change there, and it's not there.
How can you turn this into whatever you said there, physiological change or whatever? How can you do that when you're paying one guy $250 million? When you're trying to accumulate all these players,
that boondoggle itself, you're not going to get anybody to come in and take that boondoggle responsibility.
Is anybody ready for Justin Simmons? Like, I mean, dude, again, Justin Simmons, I just want to say this to you, buddy. I think you got benched, bro. I don't think you're hurt. I think you're benched because of how bad you're playing. I think I believe in your theory. I think he's getting benched because of how late they ruled him out. They ruled him out yesterday. They just didn't rule him out 2-3 days ago. He practiced.
I think that's wishful thinking on our part. He practiced.
Well, I do bench because that guy sucks. And then he's running.
I mean, that's the whole thing. He should, but because that culture over there is so broken. It probably he hurt his knee in practice or something. I mean,
we got to pat ourselves on the back. The Broncos are 3-6, and I wish the Denver Broncos weren't. I wish they were 6-3. I wish they were 6-3 right now. But the Denver Broncos are 3-6. We got to pat ourselves on the back. It looks like they're not even going to go to the playoffs this year, which we predicted. Again, there's teams that are coming up that, again, I don't know what to think of them. I don't know who we play next. But again, I got to see what I see on film. I just can't be like, I can't trust.
What people don't see, this is what people don't see. Me and you are listening to the game. We're simulcasting it between ourselves.
Right. He's actually filming the game because I can't watch it.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're watching it together, and when we see the Broncos do good, we're like, yeah, they're doing exactly what we're saying to do. Is this short, quick passes, running the not getting away from, then all of a sudden Shermer ball. Then all of a sudden Shermer ball. Oh, there's
what did I say in the film? I said once they get past the 50, they always go Shermer ball, and then that's what gets them in trouble. They get the false starts, the sacks.
Hackett, you know what you got to do, Hackett. Got to do it. Okay.
And my big prediction for this offseason is we're going to fire Nathaniel Hackett and go get Shermer, a guy that's Shermer-esque. That is my prediction this year. That is my prediction this offseason, is we're going to fire Hackett because these fans aren't patient and this organization isn't patient. And we're going to fire Hackett, and I think I think the Chargers are going to fire their head coach. I think Peyton's going to go to the Chargers because it's a better player personnel team. And on top of that, I think that we're going to go get a Shermer-esque guy. I wouldn't be surprised if we get Todd Haley out of Sirius XM. I mean, that's my prediction.
Gotta give me 9, Russ. Gotta give me 9. You're going to get 9.
Going to be able to get them 7 wins. That's how bad it is.
Oh, it's got to be. So I got to kill. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I don't even exist. Don't look at me.
Yeah, we're in every game. We'd be 8-0. We're in every game, right? We're in every game. Yeah, you can be in every game, but you're still losing these games on the other team on the opposite side.
That really says a lot that nobody wants to look at.
No, they don't. Yeah, they can't. They don't have this. They don't have that. And that's just the situation. Throughout this entire game, what did the Denver Broncos do when they scored that touchdown? What were they doing? Running the football and do the quick throws. And then they have Virgil run a seam route, which you got to thank Elijah Molden for biting on that and letting this guy run past him. But when that 24 guy, Elijah Molden, went out, that back end.
Well, why did 24 bite? I mean, that's just it. That's the conversation. Why did
they ran it? He bit because they ran it, and they
were running, doing what we said to do. I know.
But we know what we're talking about. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know what we're talking about. We're bandwagon fans.
Dude, yeah.
Well, yeah, we don't know what we're talking about. We just need to take down our channels because Dove Valley says so. We need to ban your channel because Dove Valley said so, right? Dove Valley wants to ban you.
Well, I'm going to tell you, and I don't care what you think, and it's no disrespect to you, but that front office is going to be gone. It's not just. I mean, we predicted that this coaching staff is flammable, the most flammable in Bronco history. But that front office is going to be gone. I'm telling you, it's going to be gone.
I don't believe it, but
it's going to be gone. I'm just telling you.
What have I seen from these past 8 years that's going to be?
Those people weren't around those past 8 years. They are now.
Oh, okay. So the talking heads, all 8 talking heads.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. They're going to make a change.
I think that'll be one thing they'll agree on.
Okay. All right. Those people that have never been around football.
We said 2 years. We said 2 years. Give that front office 2 years. I said 2 years.
Okay.
2 years.
All right. I hope you're right, but we'll see.
I'm not saying that gets them. That's a first step, though. That's a first step. But I'm not saying that means instant success. They're going to have to go through their own growing pains. But what I'm saying is,
this is what
office that's telling you that your channel needs to be banned is not going to be there.
Hold on.
After another year, I'm telling you.
Let me tell you this: it's not because I'm impatient. It's because I don't trust what
the NFL. Yeah, but these people haven't been around.
No, let me explain what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when I say I don't trust the NFL, is because I don't think the NFL's in a dynasties anymore. I wanted the Denver Broncos to be a dynasty like they were.
What I'm saying has nothing to do with that at all. That's nothing.
I know that's
not. But they have their own egos. They have their own egos. Well, and of course they have. They have their own egos. They have their own egos. Does that mean it's going to get better after that? I'm not saying that. But I'm telling you, that front office is on the clock. I'm telling you, I've been around it.
Well,
I've been around the egos.
Well, I'm around them all the time. So, I mean.
The guy in the office that doesn't exist was calling the shots. He was calling all the shots.
on the shots. I mean, if you have two brain cells that run together, that wouldn't be hard to fucking explain. But I understand in the world today, you can easily manipulate people to fit your own narrative. It's easy to do that. And I understand that. I totally get that. If you don't have two of these running together, man, you must be running for the hills because there's no stopping you at that point. But yes, I do understand what you're saying. But this game, again, came down to what we said. What did we say? Player personnel. The player personnel for Broncos, again, for how many years? 7, 8 years? And it's the same old crap over and over again. Wash, rinse, repeat. Another episode of Denver Broncos Mile High View and Shadow Band Scanning Football post game where we're sitting here like, are we really dumbfounded by what we saw today, though? I mean, are we really?
Well, no, and again, you have another team that tried their best to give the Broncos the win. They really tried hard.
Game either, so.
Yeah, they tried hard to give the Broncos.
It's not the Broncos.
I kept saying that Tennessee should just lose. They deserve to lose the game.
Yeah.
You're that stupid. You're that stupid. You should pay for it. But the Broncos can't even beat them when they're trying to give them the game.
And even when they're trying to give them the game, they're not paying a quarterback $250 million. I know. We're so screwed, man.
I know. Broncos have a Disney princess quarterback, or presumably.
Analytic people told him to go do it.
Well, analytic Elway. That was all Elway. Oh, I'll give you anything you want. You gotta see my rep. It's not just Pat Bowlen that brought out. I want to show I can do this. Yeah. You got a winner there, buddy.
You're 3-6, and you said that he was going to take us to the promised land, right?
Oh, but I'm hearing excuses though. Oh, we're injured. We're injured.
How can I can't.
You weren't injured game one except for Tim Patrick, and you still look like the same exact thing. The team you played today was injured. They had injuries.
Even if you had Tim Patrick behind that O-line and that player personnel, come on, dude. Come on.
It was nice to see Cortland Sutton kind of step it up a little bit, but
yeah, half. Where was he in the second half?
No.
Oh, okay. Where was Draymond Jones?
Yep. Draymond Jones, we said should have had a good game this game, didn't we? We gave him the benefit of the doubt in this game.
Man, I should have never done that because it's Draymond Jones.
Yeah.
This team has a lot of issues, and I understand Titans, but I got to circle back to the Broncos because every time they play a team that hands them the win on a silver platter, they always lose the game because, number one, they're stupid. Number two, they don't have the player. Number three, they don't have the organizational stability to even. I hear this all the time. Well, the Broncos are in every game. Yeah, the Huskers were in every game last year and they lost. Every fucking game they were in. They lost 1-score games under Scott Frost. And you know why they lost those games? Because they don't have the talent. They don't have the organizational backing. And now what are the Huskers doing? They lost 31-3. I know this isn't a Husker channel, but Trev Alberts is making the baby steps to change the culture and the organization up there in Lincoln. The Denver Broncos, and I understand where you're coming from, they got to get rid of Elway. That's the first step. But again, I don't think with all those talking heads, Lightning McQueen, Walmart, Penner, Rice, George Bush, whatever bullshit, I don't think that this is going to change in the next 5 to 10 years. I think this is going to take.
That's different. That's a different subject.
Correct.
Because I'll tell you this may enlighten you a little bit where I'm coming from. Let's say that there was no John Elway. We'll just say everything was fine. The front office, everything was, just fine. I would think that these people would even fuck that up. You know what I'm saying? But I think that they'll have their own ideas. Obviously, it's a clown show. You can't get away from that. The whole fleecing thing should have told you something right there, that something is definitely wrong. Whoever called, and we know who called it, called that Russell Wilson, goes back to Russell Wilson, paying him $250 million. That's a big fuck up, dude. That's a big fuck up that not even these people can ignore. And it's just, like I said, they're on the clock. They know they're on the clock. That's why they got to get rid of your channel. That's why they come out when you call them out. Oh, I got accolades. again, if the teams are trying to get you to give it, like, look, Tennessee, I'm Tennessee Broncos. I'm going to, here you go. Here you go. We're not even going to bother to put Henry. We're not going to do that to you. Tannehill, he just came off of the injury wagon. We'll get him. We'll give you him. And you still lost the game.
We said that Colts. Again, it's just, this thing is just regurgitating itself over. And I mean, dude, it's the same shit over and over and over and over again. Wash, rinse, repeat. If you came into this season thinking that we're going to the playoffs and going to the Super Bowl, you guys are all suckers. You all got suckered again. And I don't want to hear from this is why I don't comment to anybody anymore, especially dumbasses. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you say. You right there. And I've told you, just get rid of these people, because there's people out there that actually agree with us, and I appreciate those people. But the people the very few, it's very few now. The people that come on here and I see them fucking talking all this big game, all this shit, and then
we beat the Jags.
They do these live. They do
Justin Simmons.
They do these live feeds, and then once they're down 14-10, they'll fucking turn off the live feed, because that's how weak-minded they are. They're stupid.
Well, like I said, I don't mess with the Bush League. I don't mess with the minors. We're the majors. They're the minors.
Well, majors all we want, but again, at the end of the day, the people that actually believe this bullshit are the ones that should be ashamed of themselves, because they aren't representing what Pat Bowlen instilled in this organization. You think that you're the leader of Broncos country, aren't you, my friend? But who was that? Who was the actual leader of Broncos country? Who's the one that fucking instilled Broncos country to go everywhere? That was Pat fucking Bowlen, ladies and gentlemen. And
they're not even in the same universe, and they're apologists for the worst organization since the AFL days. These are apologists for the worst Broncos organization since the AFL. That's what they are. They're apologists for all this rot that's going on right now. That's what they represent. We represent where we need to be.
We represent change. That is what we represent. We represent change that the Denver Broncos need to do to make it to the level. Yeah, the Bills, the Eagles, the Chiefs. Those are the three teams.
The Broncos of the 70s, the Broncos of the 90s, the Broncos of the 80s, the Broncos of
the 2015s.
2015s, yes. How about we even just say that? That's what we're really trying to strive for, because everybody that's around the league looked at the Broncos as, hey, this is an organization, we'd like to be like them. Not anymore. That's just
a little word of advice to the Titans, the Broncos, and the 8-0 what if guy. Watch film. A little word of advice: watch film, because if you watch film, your brain actually works. Have you ever thought of that, Tennessee? Have you thought about that, Denver? And have you thought about that to the apologists to the worst Broncos team since the AFL days?
Since the AFL, yeah.
Think about that. Think about it. That's all I got to say.
With a princess quarterback leading the whole thing.
Yeah, $250 million that you people backed. So if you start, and again, where's all the people that said that when Peyton Manning came here, it took time? Oh, it took time for Peyton Manning to turn it around in 4 weeks. But Russell Wilson, you're 3-6.
Well, wait a second.
What did Peyton Manning walk into? A better organization than Russell.
You take a look at the struggles and it was nowhere near what you're seeing here.
Absolutely.
Offensively, okay, nowhere near.
The offensive system that you were running for
team off that's their offense. They stuck to what was working
because they stuck to what.
Yeah, you would say this defense also is very, very suspect.
Oh, the Broncos defense. Oh, it's a top 5 defense all the way. Oh, for sure.
We didn't see the Tannehill taking the beating that Wilson took.
Ed,
what's that?
Russell Wilson took. I thought he was going to get. Me and this guy honestly thought he was going to get carted out. Dude, it was that bad. This guy was getting killed out there behind that offensive line.
Wait a minute. He said he was going to get carted out before this game even started.
I know, because that's how bad this team is. And then you have good enough crowd. Oh, we know the offensive line sucks. Then why are you sitting on your hands and knees and with your thumb up your ass accepting it?
Yeah.
Want change. Want change. Strive for change. Strive for greatness. When did this team become okay with 3-6, mediocrity, headlines, PR, stats?
No, you know what they're doing now? They're justifying their losses. They're saying, well, they're close. The Bronco fans wouldn't put up with this. These have been close losses. Just good enough. These have been just good enough. Just good enough losses. Just good enough losses. That's what that one group. That one group that wants to keep apologizing and apologizing and apologize. Excuse.
Yeah,
that's what they represent. They represent every excuse, all the bad, all the stench, all of it. Keep Elway in there forever, for God's sakes. Yes.
I honestly thought I thought he got killed, but whatever. Whatever. I'm done.
Damn near did.
Yep.
Yeah, damn near did.
I thought Russell Wilson was going to get killed. I thought he was going to get. Therefore I felt bad. But at the end of the day, this is what you guys wanted. So I don't want to hear any more excuses from you people. I'm just done. I'm done with the bullshit.
Yeah, it's all. It's just wash, rinse, repeat.
Yep, wash, rinse, repeat. Now we're on to whoever we have next. They'll probably hand the game on a silver platter, and we'll still lose the game.
It's not not the Raiders, is it? Or is it?
I gotta look.
It's all right.
Come on. Yeah. Who cares? Who cares? This team sucks to begin with anyway.
But changing the coach will make all the difference in the world.
One thing that I will say that the Denver Broncos have been good at this year, and you've been pointing it out, is we win every coin toss.
They do win the toss.
So I think the Broncos are what? How many games have we played? 9 games, 8-9 games. The Broncos should be 9-0 right now with coin toss wins.
Yeah, coin toss. Well, I think they lost one coin toss.
Okay. So they're
8-1 in coin tosses. Yeah.
Oh wow. And that's impressive. That's a stat that you can hang your hat on there, apologists. That's a good stat. Without the context, just a stat there. We're 8-1 with coin toss wins going into the game.
Yeah.
I know. Why I told you is wash, rinse, repeat. I've been saying it for weeks. This is why I moved to BitChute. I'm done with DemTube. I'm done with YouTube because the people on here are just so fucking stupid. I can't. I can't. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
They get it. They come here. And
yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Well, see if Justin Simmons will play next week. God. 4 years, $61 million.
That'll make all the difference in the world. Yeah.
Oh, because it's Justin Simmons. He's had 8 interceptions this year, according to Wanu and Big.
Oh yeah, Big. I bet maybe 10 interceptions this year.
Oh.
But see how great? Yeah. You see how great that interception? And he baited the quarterback Lawrence. No, I guess he didn't. You see how he jumped the route on that? I guess he didn't do that. You see how he was in that coverage and still managed to get? No, that wasn't it either.
You know what I found out, and this is a trend that I've noticed, and this will be the last thing I say. The trend I've noticed, those people that tried to be the apologists for that kind of crap, they never comment on your film review. They only comment when me and you are talking. And that right there tells me that you refuse to look at the film. And that's my personal opinion on the matter. If they don't like it, that's perfectly fine.
Well, what does everybody see with these people? They come out when they beat a Jacksonville. Yeah, they come out, instead of seeing some consistency, seeing something that you could really hang your hat on, it's, oh, look, they beat a crap team, So if again, like I said, if Lawrence actually does what he's supposed to do, and that's throw to the corner of the end zone, there you go. It's another loss. That's all she wrote. This one, I thought Jacksonville actually played better, as bad as they were, and getting away from stuff. I think they even actually played the Broncos better than this.
Tennessee did.
Yeah. This is kind of like the 49ers. Here, God, we're just trying to give you this game, and you won't take it. We're trying to give it to you. and you won't take it.
It's sad. It really is sad.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it for me.
That's all I've got. So I'll probably show some film later on, maybe a couple clips or two. I don't know.
I'll probably do film tonight or something. I don't know. Try and do film. So
Yeah. You could go both ways. Jacksonville.
I really don't know on this bullshit. I mean, this team is such a.
I know. All right. I'll let you go. Let's get it done.
All right. Take care.
You too. Bye.